Greetings and welcome to ruralvacantland.com, where we have easy, cheap land priced 50 to 80% below the competition. So today I'd like to show you a bunch of different parcels. Some 10-acre parcels, a 20, a 5, a 40-acre parcel, and a couple more 10-acre parcels, all right in the same area. Some of them are next to each other, some of them are kitty corner, but they're all in the same area. So I'll make this video about the area, and then you can look at the description below for the specific GPS coordinates and description of each particular property in this area, and price as well. So let's go to Google Earth. So we're in Southern California. There's Los Angeles, San Diego, Phoenix is over here, Las Vegas is over here in this area. So the property is north. Barstow is here between the 15 going north to Vegas and 40 going west to Flagstaff, Arizona and beyond. Major connection and trucking routes to the U.S. from Los Angeles ports or Long Beach ports. So north of that on the 395, where you'd go if you wanted to go to Mammoth or skiing or something, Ridgecrest, between Barstow and Ridgecrest are these properties. There, if you know the 395, there's an old mining town called Red Mountain, and it's called Red Mountain because there's a mountain right next to the road here. This thing that's red. It's probably got a lot of iron in it, maybe some copper, maybe some silver and gold. There's old mining operations there. So I'm not exactly sure what they're going after. Maybe some higher grade copper and iron veins, I would guess, but the properties are in this area. There's some little roads. Let's zoom in and then zoom back out. There's some little 2 tracks that go up and down and around. I believe you can drive right up to these properties. And it's a patchwork of properties. There's a fly through here on Red Mountain. This is the 395. So if you're headed north, before you get to the Red Mountain, hang a right and shoot out some of these little trails into the desert. If you're coming south on 395 after you pass Red Mountain, hang a left and go out into the desert. Look for your GPS coordinates to get to your property. So let's take a tour, fly through of this area. So here's kind of the peak of Red Mountain. You can see the colorations in this. This is Google satellite imagery, but you just imagine what kind of temperatures and concentrations the Earth had to make colors like that, right? So over here's the properties in this alluvial plain headed down towards a dry lake bed. There's little roads that run around the mountain back to 395. There's the 395 coming around. Here's the old mining towns. There's a couple mining towns in this area from old mines that I believe are no longer in business. So if we go back to the property, it's on the side of this red mountain. And again, you can see the trails through here. So I don't think there's any power lines or houses that I know of or saw around the area. I think it's just bush with 2 tracks, so you can pull up, camp, off-road, explore, have fun. Let's see if we can see some people's pictures. So this is an old dry lake bed. It's not where the property is, but this is someone's picture if it'll load. Maybe there's some shots of the mountains in the background. Boy, wouldn't that be fun to drive around on. See if we get some other pictures of the scenery of the area. There's just some picture of the mountains at sunset. Old silver mine. There's some cattle gates. Makes it look like a nice area to raise horses. My wife loves horses. I'm always looking for the right horse place. There's some water tanks. There's an idea of the bush. There's probably bushes like that around the area. Cuddleback airfield. There you go. Wouldn't you love to fly into that airstrip? Just people camping and having fun. Let's zoom out some more. I wanted to show you some of these areas off to the sides. As we keep moving on, there's a bunch of wilderness areas that are protected that you can go hunting in, camping, hiking, exploring. We'll get there. Let's go to the internet. First, let's talk about price. So Randsburg is one of the bigger areas of towns that's close to here. So I pulled up Randsburg. There's not a lot of land for sale around here, but it's priced low to high. 2.5 acres, $3,000. That's more than $1,000 an acre. I'm asking $350 or just under $350 an acre for these properties. You have to look below in the description or go to my website, ruralvacantland.com, to get particular pricing for the parcel you're looking at. And as they sell, I'll scratch them off the list. So whatever's on my website is what's available at any given time. You could just check out there, and first one to pay gets them. I'm not going to hold them and wait for your money. You can just use your credit card, debit card, go on there and buy them if you want them. If you're serious about buying them, just go buy them. So I also pulled up San Bernardino County, the whole county. Let's see what the cheapest stuff in the county is. And, I did 5 acres, starting with the 5 acre ones. I mean, $2,500 for 5 acres. That's $500 an acre. I'm asking $350. We can do the same thing with 5s and 10s and 20s and 40s that you can pick out of this list depending what size you want, or cobble different properties together. Or if you'd like to buy a package of these properties, give me a call and we can talk about some smoking hot deal to buy the whole package. You can turn around and sell them to other people if you like, or keep them for yourself. So I looked up 10s and 20s and things, but I'm just going to keep beating you over the head. These are the cheapest properties out there. They're priced to be the cheapest ones out there. Bought them, so they'd be the cheapest ones out there. And that's my selling mantra. Go look at my website. Go look at prices. You're not going to find better prices. Put the GPS coordinates in. If you go to my website, you can click on them and see where each parcel is on a map. This is the general area. So here's a Grass Valley Wilderness area off to the side. Here's the Red Mountain. Here's Randsburg. If we go down this way, you get down to Barstow eventually. Just Boron, I think Barstow. There's Kramer Junction. Barstow is right here. So Barstow is the local. This is where I would go to fill up with Walmart, Home Depot supplies, but gas stations be closer. That's probably the main supply, major supplies of the area. It's probably half an hour, 45 minutes away. So let's look at some maps. Here's a parcel map from the county of these different properties. There's 2 10s that are next to each other and a 20. So you could put 40 acres together in one square with these ones. Lot number 2, 1, 2, and 3. Lot number 23 is a 5 acre that's kind of off on its own. This map is to the south of this next map we're getting to. This map is to the north of the one we just looked at. And so in this one there's a 40 acre. There's 3 10s that are kind of next to each other, but that 5 acre would be right below this one. It doesn't line up. And then the other ones are kitty corner to it as well. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to try to cobble some of those together unless you have some friend or something that you want close that doesn't have to be property line that you're going to build stuff across lines or whatever, right? So let's go to wilderness.com. So these properties are in this area between Red Mountain and the dry lake on the alluvial plain coming off, the stuff that washed off Red Mountain once upon a time. On these little roads. So if we zoom back, you can see these yellow areas this is Golden Valley Wilderness to the north, and this is Grass Valley Wilderness to the east. And these are both Bureau Land Management properties, which means they don't advertise as parks. There's not like parking lots when you drive up there and maps and trailheads and all that kind of stuff that a bunch of people show up for. It's kind of just land that's there that's not really, people don't generally know it's a park, but it is. And so you can go use this land. They're not going to kick you out. You can camp and hike and shoot your guns. You can go get some hunting permits and shoot whatever kind of game you can find in these areas. Lots of times Bureau of Land Management puts in wells and pumps and water stations and things for birds and deer and you name it, and they try to improve other old water sources that might be in the area. And so you find those, you can figure out where the game goes to drink, and you can track, you can sit on the paths, and you can watch, you can take pictures, you can enjoy the wildlife, and you can eat it too if you get the right permit. So these things are both a little over 30,000 acres each. So you could live on a 5 acre or a 10 or a 20 or a 40 or group them together and go have fun on this 60,000 acres you don't have to pay tax on. That you could, it's got all kinds of topography, ups and downs and different colors, things to look at and explore. Let's move on. Here's Golden Valley, the northern one. I pulled this up in Bureau of Land Management website. They talk about the size and different canyons and all kinds of colored rocks and things. It sounds like something a geologist would love to go look at. It's off of 395 by Red Mountain, Trona Road, 1 mile north of Red Mountain. So you go north of Red Mountain to get to that one, or from your property you probably just go around the other side of Red Mountain on the little roads. They're saying it's not permitted to do off-road vehicle stuff in these kinds of wildernesses, but everything else is pretty much go for it. Bring your guns, bring your dogs, bring your horses, camping gear, have fun. As long as you don't stay too long. You can stay 14 days in one place, and then you got to go 25 miles off. You just go from Grass Valley to Golden Mountain back and forth every 2 weeks. You can camp in the things and stay there forever if you're creative enough. So here's pictures of Golden Valley. Looks like there might be some water in some parts of it, or some painted rocks and people camping. This is not the right Golden Valley, but some of these pictures aren't coming up accurately. There's some other Golden Valley, but you can see people still use the trails. I think if you stay on the trails that have trailheads in these different nature preserves, like this one, here's the trails. You stay on the trails and you can off-road. I guess it's not technically off-roading if you're on the trail, but you know what I mean. You can go explore these things. And then I looked up Grass Valley, same thing. They talk a lot about camping and hiking and exploring, and it's a bush scrub community with some Joshua trees and wildlife. Talking about wildlife and stuff. And so let's look at some pictures. Here's some pictures of what people have taken hiking around, exploring, checking out these valleys. This looks like a movie set or something. That's not the right Grass Valley, but some of these other ones look like the right one. So I pull up the taxes on the largest, most expensive of them, the 40-acre one. And I figure if we go with the most expensive one, everything else is easy from there. So the most expensive one's $130 a year is what the taxes have been. Basically saying the taxes are really low on all these properties. It's, in my opinion, of no consideration, the taxes on these properties. And then back to my website, ruralvacantland.com. If you go to my website, you can learn a lot about these properties. I've got a facts section on here, all kinds of frequently asked questions. Take a look at those before you give me a call. Your questions are probably answered in there a couple different ways, and you probably learn some other things you never thought to ask. And if you're interested in any one of these properties, just click on them. Click the buy it now, put in your credit card or debit card, and take off with it. You can use it right away. I'll do all the paperwork. I'll pay all the fees. I'll make it really easy for you. You don't have to deal with any real estate agents or brokers or escrow or transfer companies and all the other middlemen that would probably charge you more fees than what you'd just pay by buying the property straight from me. I can just make it work. So otherwise, or in addition to, please go to my website, put your email address and name in there, and I'll send you updates as more properties like this come available, and deals and promotions and things along the way. Thanks for listening, and I hope these are the properties for you.